Hey everyone, it's Abby. The next part of my husband's Regency outfit is the Pantaloon trousers. The Laughing Moon pattern I used had quite a variety of versions. I chose the looser trouser with the tighter leg to better fit in boots. I wanted something he'd be a bit more comfortable in. I'm using cotton twill for breathability, and it's thick enough for making trousers out of. So let's get sewing! I'm using Laughing Moon Men's Regency Pantaloon Trouser Pattern 131. I found a nice taupe cotton twill on Etsy for these. I lay out my doubled cotton twill. I lay out my trouser pattern pieces on the fabric. I pin in place. I cut out the pieces. I pinned and cut out the back trouser piece as well as the rest of the pieces. I pinned and cut out the pocket and lining pieces out of doubled cream cotton lawn. I later realized the pockets were too small, so I make them bigger later. I pin and cut out the interlining pieces from modern hair canvas according to the pattern instructions. I pinned along the sides of the trouser flap or fall and cut along the cut line. I pinned the front flap interlining piece along the cut line I created. I pinned the pocket interlining to the pointed side piece, lining up notches and edges. I pinned the canvas interlining to the inside flap piece. I hand basted all those pieces I just pinned. I cut along the flap cut line once the canvas is basted in. I pin the cotton lining to the inside flap pieces, right sides to right sides. I machine sew the inside flap pieces on two sides. I pin and hand baste the fall edge facing to the corresponding canvas interlining. I clip along the seam and corners. I flip the inside flap pieces right side out and press. I pinned the cotton lining out of the way and pinned the inside flap along the cut line on the front of the trousers. I machine sew that seam. I press the inside flap piece over, keeping the lining out of the way. I fold under the raw edge of the lining and press. I pin the lining along the seam to enclose the raw edges. I hand whip stitch the lining down. I pin the fall edge piece along the other side of the front trouser cut line. I machine sew that seam up. I clipped the corner off camera. I press up the bottom edge pieces to create the point. I press the side in. I press the fall edge piece to the inside along the seam. I wrap the piece around to enclose raw edges and press. I pin the piece I just pressed in place. I hand whip stitch the fall edge piece with matching thread on the inside. I flip the fall edge piece around to make the inside flap be on the inside. I fold under the pointed bit and stitch around the whole pointed edge with larger visible stitches. This will help the fall edge be more secure at the weak point. You can see how the fall edge piece hides under the inner flap piece. I pin the smaller pocket facing to the cotton pocket pieces. I baste those pieces together. I hand whip stitch along the facing where it attaches along the pocket, as this seam will be staying. I pin the pocket piece to the side of the trouser front from notch to notch along the square edge bit. I machine sew that pocket seam. I trim the pocket seam up to the notches, flip right side out, and press that corner. I fold the pocket in half and pin up to the notch. I machine sew that pocket seam up. I machine zigzag the pocket seam for extra stability and to seal the raw edges. I fold down the pocket flap corner and pin it out of the way. I pin the pocket to the edge of the front trouser piece. I machine baste the pocket to the front trouser, and I machine baste at the top pocket notch. This keeps the pocket and trouser pieces lined up for the later step. I pin the fall front closed. I line up and pin the front to the back along the inside and outside trouser seams. I machine sew the side trouser seams. I machine sew the inside trouser seams. I serged the raw edges of the trousers off camera to enclose raw edges. If you don't have a serger, you could leave them raw or either hand overcast or use the zigzag stitch on your machine. I choose to use my serger as I have one, and these seams will not show on the outside. It pretty much is a time saver. I'm pinning along the front middle seam all along through the crotch and to the back. I pin to the pattern mark. I machine sew that seam up. I pin the fall top interlining pieces to the cotton twill pieces. I baste those pieces together. I pin and machine sew those together along one side. I press that seam open. I press the trouser seams open as well. I pin the fall top to the front trouser flap, right sides to right sides, lining up the middle seams. I machine sew that seam up. I trim the seam and press the fall top up. I pin and machine sew the fall facing seam. I trim that seam. I finger press the fall facing seam open. I hand overcast along the raw edges of the bottom of the fall lining. I line up notches and pin the fall facing to the fall top, right sides to right sides. I machine sew along the sides and top of the fall. I trim that seam. I flip the seam right side out. I press that seam flat. I fold under raw edges along the sides of the fall and pin the lining in place. I also pin along the top. I re-pin the fall lining as needed. It's been a bit finicky. I hand whip stitch the lining down. I hand sew along the inside edges of the fall top, being sure the stitches don't show on the outside. The fall top just didn't want to lay flat. This is my usual solution to that problem. I pin and hand stitch the lining to the inside trouser seam to keep it from flapping around. I get out all of the waistband pieces. I pin the interlining to the cotton twill all along the edges. I hand baste these pieces together. I pin and machine sew along the front and top sides of the waistband. I trim the waistband seam and clip where needed. I fold right side out and press. I pin the waistband pattern piece to the right waistband to mark out the watch pocket spot. I mark the four corners with pins. I mark the same spot on the watch pocket piece. I did the marking on the wrong side, of course, so I marked it the easier way. The cotton is see-through enough. I place the pocket facing on the back top left side and pin. I hand baste the facing in place. I whip stitch along the edges that will be staying. I line up the markings for the pocket and pin in place. I machine sew along the pocket markings. I pin and machine sew the watch pocket welt along 3 edges. I clip the watch pocket open. I trim the watch pocket welt seams. I stuff the pocket through the small opening to the inside. I press along all the edges. I fold the pocket welt right side out. I fold the raw edges to the inside, press and pin. I hand whip stitch along the bottom edge of the pocket welt. I place the pocket welt to cover the pocket hole and pin on 3 sides, leaving the top open. I hand whip stitch along all 3 sides with tiny stitches. I fold the pocket in half and pin. I hand sew along the entire open edges of the pocket. I add another row of hand stitching and also hand overcast the edge of the pocket for good measure. I pin the lining and pocket out of the way and pin the waistband to the top of the trousers. I machine sew the waistband. There are 2 of them. They separate at the back and the front currently. I trim the waistband seam. I flip the waistband seam up and press. I pin and machine sew along the top of the back gusset and lining. I trim and clip the gusset piece. I fold that right side out and press. I serged the gusset raw edges off camera. I pin the gusset to the back waistband and trouser, lining up the top of the gusset to the top of the waistband. I machine sew the gusset seams. Off camera, I pinned the waistband in a bit more as it was a bit big after trying it on. I press the gusset towards the waistband. I flip the waistband lining raw edges under and pin. I hand whip stitch the waistband lining down. After trying them on my husband, I realized they were a bit big in the leg. I want the trouser legs to be tighter fitting, so I'm using a pair of my husband's trousers to shape the bottom of the trouser legs. I machine sew those edits along the trouser legs. I ended up seam ripping and bringing the bottom out a bit again, as they were a bit hard to get on after the first pass. I decided to add the foot gusset at this point. I realized I hadn't cut that piece out. I pin and cut the foot gusset out of doubled fabric. I pin the trouser leg in half, mark and cut the spot for the gusset to be inserted. I pin the gusset to the bottom of the trouser along the edges. I machine sew that seam. I pin and machine sew the top of the gusset. I pin and machine sew along the other side of the gusset. I press the gusset seams. I press the trouser hem up. I hand overcast the gusset raw edges. I hand top stitch along the gusset edge to keep it flat. I fold under raw edges and pin the trouser hem. I hand sew the trouser hem. I hand sew the buttonholes. I hand sew the buttons on as well. I poke holes with the awl and hand stitch eyelets around the back waistband gusset. I insert thin cotton tape and tie the back gusset closed. And there we have it, the completed Regency Pantaloon trousers. Thank you for joining me today as I made my husband a pair of Regency Pantaloon trousers. These were a great addition to the outfit he wore to the Bridgeton Ball in May. Next up, I will be making the accessories for his outfit, including a variety of cravats. Happy sewing!
And the laptop is
Oh, okay.